take some time for him to heal, but he's tough and he's made it this far. Well, Valerie, I believe, found him and was a good Samaritan that picked him up on the side of the road, and she saw him get hit, and she was able to get him in the vehicle, I believe, by herself. I think one of her sons was with her, but and she called me and said he had a laceration. When she brought him to me yesterday, he has his right femur has a comminuted fracture, and that's where he has an open laceration over that fracture area, and his left leg, the head of the femur is broken off, and part of it is still within the acetabulum of the pelvis, and we will have to go in and perform a femoral head ostectomy on that leg and to repair the fracture. And his other leg, the femoral fracture, placed 2 IM pins in the medullary cavity of the bone to try to line it back up.
On Saturday, March 24th, I was taking my son's friend home on Highway 14 in Millbrook, and Trooper was running down the road chasing a car, and he had waved in and out a few, dodged a couple, and then a lady ended up hitting him. And my son seen it. I seen it in the rear view, but I thought he made it across the street, and he didn't. And we turned around and went back to get him, or to check on him. And I called the police to see if there was animal control in the city. That, you know, he had no tags on. We checked that immediately. He had a collar, no tags. And the cop basically said, you know, we're not going to euthanize him because he does not appear to have life-threatening injuries. So we have 2 options. We can leave him on the side of the road, or you can take him with you. And of course, I was not leaving him. That was never an option. So I got him in the car, took him home, tried to clean him up the best I could, and started calling around, just begging people, please, can we get him in? Can you see him? We'll work on the financial part, you know, but he just needs treatment. And I was told no, you know, no. You will assume all financial responsibility the minute you bring him in. It will have to be paid up front, you know. And so that's when I went out and posted on Facebook trying to find the owner, you know, just trying to get him help. And Dr. Allison Trotter, somebody told me to try calling her, and I did. And she talked to him on the phone that night about 1 in the morning. Told me what to look for, look at his gums, look at his breathing, look at his eyes. If all that was okay, then he was probably okay. No bleeding out of the mouth, nose, anything like that. So she told me what to give him for pain, give him, you know, try offering him water slowly. We did that. And then Sunday, the 25th, he wasn't doing really good. His breathing had kind of slowed, and he was just really lethargic. But then I got him Pedialyte. She told me we got Tramadol to give him, and then he started perking right back up. So we made it through Sunday and Sunday night, and then we brought him to see her Monday morning in the clinic at 8:45. I knew the minute I looked at him that I just couldn't leave him, and you know. And I knew he was some type of bulldog. We've never had one ever. I've never seen them in a bad light anyway. Never, like a lot of people, try to perceive them as they're vicious, they're horrible, they'll eat you. That never crossed my mind when I went to grab him, to rescue him. Never was worried about that, not 1 minute. And this alone has changed my outlook. You know, any doubts I ever had about this breed or the bulldog breed, no matter if it's Pit, American, whatever. It has totally changed my outlook on this breed, completely. I'll never look at him in a negative light again, ever.
So what do you think about the response that he's gotten so far from the online community?
It is amazing. I hadn't, you know, and I know there are a lot of good people still in the world, but you have to wonder sometimes, especially in today's time, is there still that many good people out here? And it has been, I mean, Sunday night, I sat there and I cried. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. I could not believe I was getting calls from rescue groups in California, one in Nevada, just calling, we want to do whatever we can to help him. Saving Grace in Birmingham, they were on the phone immediately. You know, we want to do whatever we can to help save him. So, and he's just, until you meet him, and you have, he's just, I don't know, there's just something about him. There's something about his eyes that he just, that tells his story to me.
if Valerie had not stopped and done what she could to take care of him and see that his needs were met, I think it's very possible that he could have passed away right there on the side of the road. Trooper's prognosis right now is guarded. He has, just like with any with trauma, there's a period of time where they go through shock, and that can compromise the kidneys as well as other organs. And today, his kidneys are showing that they are compromised, so we are giving him IV fluids to diurese those kidneys and get them functioning, hopefully, again. And I'm cautiously optimistic. He's been doing well, eating and drinking well and urinating, and we're just watching him very close, and we'll have to check his kidneys daily just to make sure that they're going to start functioning like they should be before he can undergo anesthesia to repair these fractures. All of it together, his surgery alone, and that's not including medical treatment, but it could be upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 since we have 2 fractured legs, and they can be very complicated at times. And to update him on vaccinations, checking for intestinal parasites, and properly deworm him to get him as healthy as possible to undergo anesthesia. And not to mention, that the kidney diuresis sometimes can take, we usually like to have them on fluids for at least IV fluids, 48 hours before we retest and to see how the kidneys are doing. And that's the minimum. Sometimes it takes longer than that. And we may be looking at $3,500. It just really depends. I'm not just throwing that figure out there because it all depends on Trooper and how he responds to our medical management. And just as soon as he's able to undergo anesthesia, we will certainly get his surgery scheduled.